Swung on and driven. High and deep into center field. The Red Sox are going to the playoffs. Say down. Say hello to October.
It's gone. It's into the bullpen. This game is tied. This game is tied.
Strike three called. 100 miles an hour. His 11th strikeout.
Dale winds. He fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. It's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship.
All right, we're back. Play Tessie, episode 351. It's the official Red Sox podcast of WEEI, presented by Baseball Isn't Boring. Subscribe to Play Tessie wherever you get your podcasts. Rate 5 stars. Get your Baseball Isn't Boring merch at bbisn'tboring.com. Find us on the socials at Play Tessie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And then find our videos on YouTube. All the podcasts in full video form on YouTube. So subscribe there. Sammy's here. Pat's here. Gordo with you guys. If you remember last podcast, which feels like forever ago, they had just swept the Tigers, and we jumped on this show, and we weren't quite in the let's go. We were all, listen, we're happy that they swept the Tigers. This is good. Like it's a first step, but we have to see more from here because we all knew, you're going into a 4-game series with the Rays, ended up being a 3-game series with the rain out. Sucks for those fans that showed up to the ballpark, by the way. But aside from that, they lost 2 out of 3. They scored 7 runs in a 3-game series. It was more of what we had experienced before, and basically the team is continuing to show us that when they get elite starting pitching, like they did in the Tigers series, where their 3 starters combined to allow 1 earned run, they can win ball games like that. But they haven't really shown that they can win ball games in pretty much any other way besides that. So we got what we got in the series, 7 total runs. Sox dropped 2 out of 3. And you kind of feel like I guess right where you were, I don't know, after the first game in the Tigers series, where it's like, maybe they're not a complete, like we thought, they looked like a complete dumpster fire. The last week or so, they've shown maybe they're not a complete dumpster fire, but they are a ways away from being a really good team. Does it take being a really good team to make the playoffs in this American League? No. Which is why we were on the radio today talking about buying at the deadline, which admittedly felt a little bit weird to me to be talking buying when they could just as easily be sellers at the deadline. But they don't have to be that good to put themselves in that territory to be buyers and to potentially put, I don't want to say the finishing touches, but some touches on this team to make them a good enough team to be a playoff team in this AL landscape. But for now, they are what they are, which is a team that really just doesn't hit that much and is fully reliant on getting great, not just good starting pitching, but great starting pitching to win ball games. And to their starters' credit, they are to an extent capable of that, but it's a frustrating brand of ball to watch when you don't get that caliber of starting pitching.
Red Sox are 3-22 when the starter doesn't go 6 innings. It's really, they have one way to win games. They don't bludgeon the baseball enough to slug their ways to victory. And I know Pat and I are both wearing Baseball Isn't Boring hats, and I maintain Baseball Isn't Boring. But this Red Sox team is just about, and Gordo has a hat, this Red Sox team is just about as boring as you get for a baseball product. And it doesn't mean that they're the worst team in the league. I maintain, still think this is a winning baseball team. I think they'll finish with more wins than losses. Does that mean playoffs? I don't know. But the way this Red Sox team plays, even the other night when they were beating the Tigers 4-0, by the 7th or 8th inning, I'm kind of thinking, all right, like, can we get to Chapman or Whitlock and just shut this down? I'm like, this offense, the offense is so tired. And now Contreras getting hit in the hand. Hopefully that's not anything major. Roman never really got it going. Now he's on the IL. And you just look at the guys coming up. Jaron Duran, again, we'll get to it. Another kind of meltdown situation with him off the field, this time on social media. Good for him for mixing it up. And other than that, it's just a mishmash of underperforming. And I think the main guy you look at, and there's another thing we'll get to, it's Trevor Story. Like, Trevor Story's making me feel like a complete idiot because all year long, or I know it's only May 10th, but up until this point, I keep saying, you got to stick with Story because odds are he's going to bounce back over and over and over and over again. I've been saying that. And he hasn't done it. I'm still going to keep saying it, but I feel like an idiot saying it. So there's just a lot of slow baseball being played, not enough winning baseball being played. And it's just it's a tough product to digest right now.
I was thinking about it today, and I think I have come up with the perfect analogy for the Sox as currently constructed. It's like watching a football team with a great defense and no quarterback. Like that's what it feels like. Because if the other team can stop the run, you're like, we're gonna fucking lose. That's just how it feels. Like if it's the same thing with like if the pitching lets up 4 runs, starting pitcher lets up 4 runs. It's exactly like a no quarterback offense and they're stuffing the run. You have zero faith in this bum quarterback bringing you back into a game to win it. Like it's, and I think that's the most frustrating part is A, it's boring baseball, but B, like games feel over in like the 4th inning. And I think that's what's insufferable because the next hour and 20 minutes of your time is going to be an absolute and utter waste. And it's so frustrating. And like, who knows? Because Crochet's on the IL. Ranger will be back this week. Roman should have a short stint. Like, there's going to be people coming back, and, we'll see what the full team looks like under Chad Tracy. But through, 30 whatever games, it's inconsistency. It's no offense. It's really good starting pitching, and it's just miserable ways to lose baseball games.
And it's like also you see those poor people show up to that game on Saturday. Those people, I had so many people tweeting me that they drove in from Maine and from multiple hours, brought their kids, and they show up to watch this team, to take their kids to see this team, and the game rained out when it should have obviously been called beforehand. They could have done this hours in advance, but no, you got to pay for parking, go into the ballpark. You're going to sit in the rain, so obviously you're going to eat and drink. What else is there to do? You're going to buy concessions and invest your time, your money. Huge investment of people's Saturdays. And yeah, the game gets rained out. And now not only did they waste their Saturday, but their tickets are good for a Friday in the afternoon when people are working and going to school. Well, I guess it's July, so they won't be in school, but they could be at camp. Like, and that's unavoidable. But you could at least save people their Saturdays. And if they were playing like the 2018 Sox, and it's like, listen, we just got to take any chance we can get to get this game in because this team is so electric. Like we have to watch it. Like everyone needs to see it. Then there's that. But when you've got this, and it's what you guys have described, this more often than not boring brand of baseball, and it like kills me to say that because I truly like even boring baseball. People talk about low scoring ball as boring, and I love the intricacies of baseball, the pitch by pitch battle, the chess match. I really do think it's fascinating, but with this team, even like I can't really get there sometimes. And
it's not an exciting brand of baseball. By the way, we since we're on baseball isn't boring, we need a new word. We can't use the word boring. It's counterintuitive to what we're all about. I think we have to go with prosaic.
Oh, that's not happening.
This is a prosaic brand of baseball. Prosaic is something that is dull, ordinary, or lacking in imagination.
I don't disagree with the definition. There's no chance I'm remembering that word. What are the other words listed next to it?
You wanna get into some synonyms, kid? Monotonous, tedious, interminable, worrisome. No, not wearisome, not worrisome. Tiresome, vapid, insipid. I like that.
Insipid.
Yeah.
Wait, spell it.
INSIPID. Insipid.
What's the definition?
It's like if you eat a food and it has no flavor. Like if you have a piece of chicken that has no seasoning. Gordo pizza.
I was gonna say
it's insipid. It's dull, bland. Yeah. Okay. Insipid.
Don't you dare compare the Gordo pizza to the 2026 Red Sox. The only 2 days the Gordo pizza has been eaten fresh this year. Even the 2026 Red Sox are 2-0.
You're gonna brag about the Gordo pizza. Your 2 games and then not make it. I don't want to hear about the Gordo pizza unless you're making the pizza and they're winning games. I've had it with the Gordo pizza.
Listen, man, I gotta keep the magic. If I made it every day, that would upset the pizza gods. It would upset the baseball gods. I'd be playing with fire there. Like you don't want to know what would happen.
It would upset your wife most of all, making the house smell like shrimp.
It would upset my body.
You'd be a large man. You would not be insipid. You'd be a flavorful man of size.
Would be massive.
Pat, we got to convince Gordo to become morbidly obese to save the Red Sox.
You would be so big if you truly made 162 shrimp pizzas.
Well, and then they'd make the playoffs.
here's the
So you
thing,
got to
though.
have another 12.
Your calves would be fire hydrants. They would be so big.
The thing with the Gordo pizza is when I make it, I'm the only one that eats it, so it's good for
I don't
two.
doubt that.
How big? How big is
two.
it? Like a personal pizza, or is it like a real
Is it like
pizza?
a bar pizza? Like a
It's
bar
like-
pizza?
It's like if you went to a restaurant and ordered, I don't know, it's somewhere in between. If they have a small and a large, and it's somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I don't usually see medium pizzas.
A bar
but-
pizza. It's a
I
bar
guess bar
pizza.
pizza.
Sure. So I eat half of it on night one and the other half on night two. The leftover Gordo pizza's record is not that good. It's the
Gordo-
fresh.
Reheated, heated
Ugh.
frozen shrimp.
So it's shrimp that has been cooked, frozen, recooked by Gordo, frozen again, and then that stuff must be so soft. Gordon Ramsay would spontaneously combust if he ever saw the friggin' Gordo pizza.
I didn't know you
I'm-
did leftovers.
By the way,
This is
Pat,
really
let's-
fucking me up.
Let's not gloss over. Gordo just goes, if there were a size between large and small, like medium.
So here's the thing. What I'm getting at here is, in a perfect world, if the leftovers worked just as well as the fresh ones, I could make just 81. But I'd have to make 162. But then I'd also be tempting the gods. So what would happen is they'd win every game the rest of the way, but then they'd have like season-ending injuries all across the lineup on the last day, and then it just wouldn't work in the playoffs.
Why? Why do you assume that?
Because the pizza gods know that the Red Sox don't lose when I make the pizza. The baseball gods know that the Red Sox don't lose when I make the pizza. We all know that the Red Sox don't lose when I make the pizza. But if I start making it too much, it's like, think about it. If you have soil and you're planting things in the soil, like you ever hear about like the early days when people would it's like they'd overuse the soil and then the soil becomes less fertile over time because it's been used too much. That's what the Gordo pizza wins would become.
How do you know that, but you can't name a single person of pop culture? You
Well, they
know
don't-
about the 1500 soil, but you can't pick Ryan Gosling out of a lineup.
I need to go smoke a cigarette. I don't
Hey,
smoke cigarettes, but this is going to make me start smoking cigarettes.
They don't teach Ryan Gosling in high school, Pat.
Joe, what do you got?
This is coming from me. And if there were pizza gods, they wouldn't even let Gordo cook that thing.
I agree.
Just so we're clear. And it's coming from me.
Why do you say it like that and it's coming from me? Do you have low standards for your pizza?
Well,
Joe's a
I'm just
demonic
saying, if
pizza
anyone if anyone should know about if there are gods out there, it's the guy with, if you're watching on YouTube, the cross necklace on his chest.
Joe is the podcast pastor.
He's the podcast pastor who has a Jewish name, looks kind of Jewish, but he's not. That's me and
Yeah.
Sammy's job. If you want to learn about Moyles, go to the last podcast.
Oh my God. Anyway, so Trevor Story has a 520 OPS, 2 home runs on the season, hitting 200, and he has struck out a whopping 55 times in 38 games.
Let me give you the
I might want to go back to talking about pizza. That's so disgusting.
So Trevor Story in his first 14 games. So to put some context here, this is about a week and a half ago. He was starting to play a little bit better. So I was going to try to put together a stat. Oh, up until, you guys remember he went 4 for 5 against the Twins that one day.
Yeah.
I was going to put it together a stat. Oh, before that day and then that day onward. But then I realized actually that 4 for 5 really carries. So what I was going to do then after that was put together a before the 4 for 5, and then you have the 4 for 5, and then the after the 4 for 5, because it became clear to me that he really wasn't getting any better. So before the 4 for 5, he was hitting 131 with a 354 OPS. Then he went 4 for 5, and this is going into today because I've got the game logs up on Baseball Reference. So what did he do today? 1 for 4 with 3 Ks?
Mhm.
Okay. So before today, in 22 games, 212 batting average, 554 OPS. Like, it's really, and granted, I know he didn't get going till the end of May last year, but it's just not getting better.
Yeah. I still, the problem with the whole Story thing, and again, I know people listening are going to, if they haven't tuned out from listening to the pizza talk, people will roll their eyes because who else do you put in there? I'm cool if you move Marcelo to shortstop and put Story at second base. That's a different conversation. But in the lineup, Andrew Monasterio has been in the league for years, and he's a backup. Milwaukee never had him starting games, so I don't think that's a good option. That lowers your ceiling significantly, in my opinion. As bad as Story has been, IKF, don't get me
Time to
started.
earn your $6 million, pal.
No, please no. But but point being is, Story last year, if you get 75% of what Story did in 2025, it's not great. It's maybe average.
You'll take it.
But you'll take it, yes. Especially if you move him to second, he's playing defense. Then you're fine with it. Might even be a positive WAR player. Crazy. But I don't think that the move is to either of those two, Monasterio or IKF. That's just not going to fix things. It might be a Band-Aid for a week or two, but that's not a long-term fix, and it's not going to help you down the stretch in 2026. And another one I keep getting. Stop with the Franklin Arias shit. The amount of Franklin, he's in AA right now. He just turned 20. He's an awesome prospect. I really like him. AAA soon, sure. But it's this 2026 Red Sox team is not the time to call up another prospect and once again ask, please save our season. The Boston Red Sox, owned by $14 billion Fenway Sports Group. Please come save our team, 20-year-old kid who can't even legally drink. It's just not the move. And those three reasons is why I think you have to stick with Trevor Story. And it sucks, but that's technically the best option.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is people clamor for DFA Story, trade Story, bench Story, whatever. You really don't have any in-house options unless you go the route less desired and it's Cedon at second base. That is a scenario where you're upgrading the lineup. But like the thing with Story is it would be one thing if it was one part of his game. Like if he was playing elite defense and hitting like he is, it's bad. It's still really, really bad, but you can kind of live with it. He's not doing anything well. He booted a ball today. He struck out 3 times today. He's hitting sub 200. He's not hitting for power. He's not hitting, period. And it's like last year, like he had a absolutely abysmal May last year. And who knows, maybe this year is just as bad or a little bit better, but it's way more magnified because no one around him is hitting.
He also didn't have the hot start that he did last year. Like last year, the hot start held his numbers.
Like last year, Bregman was hitting. Marcelo came up when Bregman went down. Willier was hitting. Like they were treading in the right direction. They were playing decent baseball. This year, it's like the magnifying glass is on Story. That is a guy who you need offensively to be at least 70% of what 2025 Trevor Story was to be an average offense. And he's doing none of it. I think he's on pace for 215 Ks this year. He's hitting sub 200. His range is out the door. The one thing, I don't even know if we've talked about this, and it's a new thing this year that's driving me insane. Why is every fucking throw on the run?
Because he doesn't have his elbows cut on the run. He needs the momentum. His elbows fried.
I think he would get more power on his throw if he set his feet. But I genuinely think he's more confident in his accuracy throwing on the run. That's the only explanation.
Honestly, I played shortstop in high school. I'm the same way. I like throwing on the run much more. I don't know why. It makes no sense. But
he's a major league baseball player, like
who's never done this before.
But Pat said it makes no, or one of you said it makes no sense. I think some guys do. I mean, Derek Jeter did that. Derek Jeter would crow hop and it would look like a little. Not that he was a great defender.
But you're taking your momentum towards the base. That makes sense. He's taking his momentum like to home plate and throwing on the run that way. It's weird.
And the other thing too is this is a guy who was a plus defender.
Yeah.
Like historically, he's a good defender.
Remember?
And then
remember? I'm serious. Do you remember a few?
No, the way you said it was funny.
But legit, 2 years ago, like he wasn't hitting, but it's like, oh well, he's an elite shortstop defender. So
I know.
Kike was the shortstop, and then Story came back, and I remember it was like going to a spa watching him play shortstop. I was like, oh, so relaxing. It's an actual shortstop, and now it's the complete opposite. It feels like Kike's back out there. And really quick, back to the offensive side of Trevor Story's lack of game. He has a 3% barrel rate so far. 3. That is 13th percentile in Major League Baseball. Not good. He's not hitting the ball hard. when he's not striking out, he's also not hitting the ball hard.
Back in the Kike Hernandez days, we were happy just to have Yu Chang playing over there, and then he got hurt, and we couldn't even have that.
Hey, why is nobody talking about the Taiwanese shortstop, the new guy from Taiwan? Sung Chae Chang. He's like crushing it right now, and he played great defense. Or he was. I don't know if he is anymore.
I know he hit for the cycle one day, and then I remember I looked back at his stats, and I said, "Oh, dang! Like I guess that was just a one-off."
Yeah, 800 OPS. Look at that.
Okay.
And he's a sick defender.
Can I give you my Trevor Story analogy about where I think we need to go with him? And by we, I mean the Red Sox organization.
Yes.
I want to compare it to Al Horford with the Celtics. He comes back for the second stint, starts his first 2 seasons, full-time starter, Al Horford, and he's good. But to get them to the next level, okay, we're going to bring in Porzingis. We're going to Al, you're going to be the guy that goes to the bench. You're still very involved with the team here. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we're just banishing you for good out of nowhere. You're still involved here, but your role, we're going to diminish your role slightly as you age, as your skills start to decline a little bit. Your role is going to be diminished a little bit too. With Trevor Story, I feel like it's time to stop treating him, and they have moved him down in the lineup. But it's time to stop treating him like he's going to be the Trevor Story of old until we see it. And I'm talking about offensively and defensively. Like, to me, I would be fine putting him at second base and platooning shortstop. Marcelo Meyer and Andrew Monasterio, who is putting up better numbers than Story in a short sample size, that's fine. And I know Story's defense did stabilize, and he'd gone 20 straight games without an error before today. So I do want to give him some credit. I think his defense got around up to the 40th-ish percentile. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there. I think I was checking on it a couple days ago.
21st.
Oh, damn. Okay. I think it was there. So maybe it came right back down.
Either way, it's below average, yeah. But
it's not good. And you have a guy that could be playing better shortstop defensively right now, and everybody knows it. So have Trevor Story be your second baseman. Have Trevor Story be not necessarily a full-time hitter if he's going to keep hitting like this. I'm not saying bench him entirely. I'm not saying DFA him. Maybe trade him at the deadline in a deal to get a better infielder as a salary offsetting procedure. Like I talked about on radio today. I was talking about Francisco Lindor. We'll get back into the Who Says No's on this show soon. But I think it's time to stop hitting this guy 4th, 5th, playing shortstop every day. Like, it's time to start. What's the process? Just the declining process.
Winding him down.
Wind him down. Thank you. The transition, winding him down. We're there.
The other thing too is, if you go back to when they signed him, he had the arm concerns, he had the injury stuff, but he was mashing. You would think when they signed that contract in these years that we're currently in now, which he has 2 years left, this year and next year, I believe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those 2 years, it was Heim in that front office, and they were smart enough to be like, look, at that age, he's not going to be a great shortstop. His speed will be a little bit less, but you are always kind of banking on the bat a little bit, at least the pop. Never mind. He was never hitting for average. He wasn't a big walker, like none of that stuff. But ideally, guys like that on those long-term shortstop deals, you can transition them to third base or second base or DH them, and you get some form of boost in some regard. This is catastrophic in all phases of his game. He cannot hit. He can still run, which is useless because he can't get on base. Range is not good. The arm is shot. Like, Gordo, I'm 100% with you. You're now at the point where you're mixing him in and out at second base. Marcelo needs to get over to short. He's now proving that he can hit big league pitching. He's starting to hit lefties a little bit. Just get him over there and get him settled, and then start this transition with Story.
Especially as the year kind of starts to feel less like a, hey, we're going for the World Series, and more like a, hey, we're building towards something. Hopefully we make the playoffs, but we're building. If you're building, the future of this team is that guy at short. It's Marcelo at short. And even if you're not ready to hit him against lefties every single day, and I'm fine with that. I know everyone else wants him face lefties every day. I'm fine with them platooning him for the most part and maybe getting the occasional day there.
Tough lefties.
Yeah, but just just be okay with the platoon shortstop. It's like they said at one point that they don't want a platoon shortstop, and we were all just like, okay, yeah, I guess you can't ever platoon shortstop. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
It's better than what you're getting now.
Yeah, that's a better way to use Monasterio. And people telling me make him the starting shortstop. Platoon with him? Sure. Cool with that. More on Trevor Story. I feel bad because Trevor Story, like, good guy and everything. He's had a really good career. But we have to discuss the reality. This is the cruel game of baseball that we all love. He's also not running at an elite level anymore. He's still stealing bases.
He's a good base runner. He's
good
fast.
base runner. But last year, what with like 82nd percentile speed. This year, he's down to the 70th percentile speed. Like that's not nothing. So on top of everything declining, his one thing that you say doesn't decline, speed doesn't slump. It goes away as you get older, though. Gordo.
So what percentage of the way through the season are we? I'm trying to figure out how many stolen bases he's on pace for, because he had 31 last year. He's at 4 right now.
How many games have we played?
So he has played 37. How many have the Red Sox played? Because he's
they're probably, 39, 40?
Yeah, I think he's only missed 1 or 2 games.
The Red Sox are now, it's 40 games. So
okay, so they have played
a quarter. They played
24.6. How many? So let me do this, Gordo.
So he's going to be 16 stolen bases.
Yeah.
That's where we're on pace. He's on pace to cut it in half.
Yeah, not good.
And home runs, he's at 2. He had 25 last year. He's on pace for
8.
So, and granted, I get it. Everyone listening is going to say, listen, we were talking all this shit last year. In May, everyone wanted him DFA'd, whatever, benched. And then he took off and he 25 home runs? Yeah, 25 home runs and 31 stolen bases.
Led the team in RBIs too. Like, I know it's a team stat, but that's not nothing.
So, yes, I'm okay with them riding this thing out. But once the calendar flips to June, because again, Sammy, it's what you said. It's not like they've got some option banging down the door. Like right now, what we're talking about is instead of playing Story, you're playing him as a part-time role and like slightly upticking Monasterio's role. Story obviously has more upside there, so like I get it. Go give him until June. But once you're in June and it hasn't happened, I mean, what are we really waiting for at that point?
We're waiting for Sung Chae Chang. I'm looking at his numbers right now. I'm kind of confused why we don't hear anything about this guy.
We're waiting for Mickey Gasper to pick up the infielder's glove.
Didn't he play some second base at some point?
He did for the Twins, at least. I don't know.
Shout out,
Sox, but
shout out that guy,
Shout out
dude.
Mickey. Shout out
3 hits.
Mickey.
Wait, 3 hits today, right? Was it 3?
I thought it was 2. Either way, multiple hits. Dude, that shit was so weird. People like
3.
3, great.
3
That's
and
awesome.
a hard hit ball for the 4th one. He got out on a hard hit ball. Go Mickey.
Maybe I'm being a softie, but I thought it was so lame. People being like, "Oh, don't show his parents," or like, "Oh, like." I didn't like that whole thing last year. People were making fun of him for not getting a hit. Like, this guy's dream is being crushed on TV and in front of his parents. So people are like, ha, 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 fuck you, Mickey, go to the Twins. And he comes back and they're like, hey, remember that time when you were miserable? You fucking out. Like, I'm happy Mickey Gasper got his hits today at Fenway Park as a Red Sox.
I thought the parents thing was pretty funny. They showed him so many times. He never got the hit.
No, it's gotta be miserable for him though. I feel
but he was living his dream. He got called up to the majors for the first time. Yeah, you didn't get a hit, but hey, you're here. That's not sarcastic. Seriously, he got up there. He achieved.
No, I know.
How old was he when he made his debut?
I wanted to let that breathe so you could feel how like not happy that sounds. You're here.
He was 28 making his major league debut. He could go 0 for 100. You're gonna be happy to be there.
How old is Mickey Gasper?
28, 29. He's a journeyman.
He is 30 years old in 211 days.
Pat, do you think he was a prospect?
No, but I thought he made his debut at like 24.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
They got him in the minor league Rule 5 from the Yankees, right? That was him. He was drafted by the Yankees in the 27th round of the 2018 draft.
New Hampshire boy.
Mm-hmm. Listen, come on, Sammy. 27th round in 2018, debuts in 2024. Doesn't get a hit, but he's there.
Oh, it's great. It's great. But the whole conversation was about him getting a hit. You know this. You're
yes,
smirking.
Of course.
You know.
It was funny.
You know.
It was funny. It was funny for the fans.
It was funny watching him struggle. You like that? You like watching a guy on national TV not get a hit and have everyone go, you worked your whole life to get here and you're failing. You pathetic New Hampshire.
No, it wasn't like that. We're not saying you're failing. We're just laughing. You know, his parents are following him around like it's Roger Maris' kid following Aaron Judge around. He's not.
Now that was funny. The Roger Maris like that was the most loser thing I've ever seen. That was funny. That was nepotism, kind of, maybe. Yeah, nepotism and just main character syndrome all rolled into one. But Mickey's not a villain. We don't laugh
No.
at Mickey.
Mickey was the best player on the field for the Red Sox today.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even you're accurate saying that, which is says a lot about these Sox, dude. But hey, go New Hampshire, Granite State, live free or die. You wanted Mickey to not live free.
Whoa, I would never say that. I did not. I never would say that. I want Mickey to be happy. And the happiest version of Mickey Gasper is the one that just dominates for the Red Sox out of nowhere.
Tommy dead. All right.
Is there anything positive you guys want to highlight from this series? I feel like there's a couple more negative things.
Yeah.
Connolly early, dude.
Okay, that's where I was getting at here. Connolly early. What'd you guys... I mean, considering after his last start, the conversation was about, man, like, I know this is his first bad start, but you look at the metrics and they really haven't been good all year. This start said metrics be damned, like, and not in the way that's, oh, he outperformed his metrics again. No, if you looked at everything this start, everything was there. He looked like last year early, like the early that we saw in the cup of coffee. He was incredible. He won them that game, like basically on his own, won them the game.
Yeah, and the start prior, we all agreed, not his best start. He said the same thing, didn't have it that day. And the big thing was he was not pounding the strike zone like he normally has. And first thing I'm looking for in this most recent Conley early start, is he pounding the strike zone? Absolutely. He had no fear whatsoever. That's how you have to attack a team like the Rays, because if you're not throwing the ball in the strike zone, they're not going to swing. They're extremely disciplined, and they'll take their walks. So, yeah, awesome job by Connolly early. Way to bounce back. Mental fortitude through the roof. Again, I don't want people to take what he's doing for granted. Might have honestly been a good thing that he had a bad start just to show that he's a rookie. He's not going to be perfect all the way through. Makes me personally appreciate when he does have a great start, like he did against the Rays. So good for Conley early. It makes me feel a hell of a lot better about his next start coming up.
Yeah, I mean, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 70 of 96 pitches were strikes. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, I think it was maybe 2 episodes ago, we were talking about how Peyton is a lot like Garrett in the sense that they're power pitchers. Like, they can get by just by blowing guys away. And then Ranger and Connolly are more of like the finesse pitchers. Like they rely a lot on location stuff and all that stuff. I mean, Connolly put on a clinic. 8 Ks against the Rays. The Rays don't strike out a lot. You can look what they did to Tully today. It was just soft contact all over the place. Caminero took him off of the dirt for a home run, which was insane.
Crazy.
But especially considering one of the talking points with Connolly was, it was like 3 of his last 4 outings, I believe, before that last one. He let up a home run. 7 shut, no real hard contact, wasn't walking guys, and he was just attacking. Like, that's how Connolly is at his best, is when he attacks guys. He's locating all 5 or 6 of his pitches, and I think it's a confidence thing, because I think when he's attacking and he is on, we saw it in his cup of coffee last year through the first couple innings of the wild card start. It's like, he has so much confidence in every single one of his pitches. He knows he can command it. He has it. And when he's on, he is so fun to watch.
Yeah, and you saw the velocity it stuck around till the end. He was throwing 96 plus like at the very end. And if you look back to the scouting reports last year when he first came up, that was the whole question, is can this guy maintain velocity through a start, through the 4th, 5th, 6th innings? That's why he added the weight in the offseason. We're trying to maintain velocity. And if that's going to be the biggest question, you're going to be able to hold velocity through 7 innings. I mean, it's crazy. And it's just going to make their decision when they have to pick 5 starting pitchers at some point. I mean, I don't know. We'll see about Bayo. I guess the decision could be easy if Bayo makes it easy. But, I mean, if Connolly early and Peyton Tully again today, I know 5 innings, 3 runs doesn't look crazy. But if Trevor Story fields that ground ball, the Rays are a very pesky team. You saw it all day. They were drawn out at bats. He still made it 5 innings. The one bad inning would have not been as bad had Trevor Story made that play. I thought Tully pitched really well today. Him and Early both against one of the peskier teams in the league. And I mean, we watched it all series. They really are a Rays team this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, those two guys making that decision all that much tougher, because the easy decision for the Red Sox would be, pick one of the kids to send down, but they're making it hard.
Also, on a non-statistical way of looking at baseball, really cool to see Peyton Tolley, of all people, pitching on Mother's Day. We all heard last year's story, how he lost his mother to cancer. It was super tragic. He was very close with her. And I think the coolest thing is how Tolley has, what is it? "You're so pretty" on his glove.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not familiar, it's what his mom would yell at him to embarrass him when he was pitching back in the day. So sad, of course, but it's really nice to see him get this stage. And then obviously on his debut at Fenway, the Red Sox left a seat open to honor his mother. So I love all of that. It breaks your heart, but it also makes you smile at the end of the day, because baseball is what gives us hope. So good for Peyton Tolley. I agree with you guys. I do think he pitched better than his line would indicate. Didn't get a lot of help from the defense, other than Willier. Great play.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That's a
Sadon had a nice grab in center too.
Yeah. But overall, I don't think the defense was great behind him, which is something we haven't said a lot of this year. Refreshing. Still, Red Sox need to find a way to win games when their pitcher doesn't go 6 innings. It's 3-22.
We haven't talked about Contreras.
Contreras got hit. We hope he's okay.
Yeah. Like,
I don't love that.
I am a little nervous about it. I know they
He took
said
himself out too.
Yeah.
And it was his top hand. It wasn't like it hit him on the wrist guard. It hit him like front side of top hand.
Like, kind of, I don't even know.
Hamate.
This is your palm, and what is this?
Isn't
Like,
that
this is, are they both your palm?
So your proximal row of carpals here, that's your wrist. It's your distal ulnar radius here, and then your proximal carpals are here. That's what makes up your wrist. I think he got hit right through here.
So Pat is pointing to the
like
Pat's
form.
pointing to the side of his palm on the
So
opposite of his thumb.
If you
make a right angle between your thumb and your pinky,
it's going to be easier than that. It's going to be easier than that. So if you go to the base of your thumb, so like the bottom of your palm, go all the way across, you'll feel like a bone sticking out, almost like a hook. Yeah?
Yeah. I feel the hook.
They always say the hook thing with the hamate. I've never felt a hook, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, okay, yeah, we got to make this digestible for audio listeners only, because they can't.
It's not good. He got hit in an unprotected part of his wrist.
It's good that they said that
flow.
the initial test said that everything was fine, but I feel like until we see him back in the lineup, I mean, we saw the Roman Anthony thing. They said everything was fine, and then it wasn't.
They said
Pat,
that was Roman.
You should do little, like, just you, like, solo videos where you, like, point to your hand and break down stuff like this. I think people would enjoy that. It's informative, and you have the background to do it.
Post them on Twitter. That is a good. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it from the PT account.
You could you could be like what's his name? Dr.
Jesse
Morse. Dr. Jesse Morse. He's always interacting with my stuff. Shout out to Dr. Jesse Morse. Good guy, I think. What else?
He's actually a criminal.
But he interacts with my stuff, so
he must be nice.
Can't be that bad. Not bad part. I guess we're with Contreras. We're on to the bad. Greg Weissert.
Bad.
Not good. Good thing Justin Slayton's back, and he looked pretty good today. That was another positive. That kind of, as the game, Sammy, if you want to talk about like, oh, let this game end already. We were into the point in time in the game where we knew the Red Sox weren't going to win. So it's like, let's just like get through this game already. Slayton pitched in that portion of the game, so I feel like it didn't really get highlighted.
What was the score of the game when he came in?
Probably 4-1.
Yeah. And neither of us disagree that the game was over. It was over. They're not without Roman and without Contreras now, with Monasterio in the middle of the order now that he's taken over for Contreras. It's not happening. That's another reason why these games are insipid, is because a 4-1 lead should not feel insurmountable. But with this Red Sox team, you feel stupid even talking about them coming back, because it's happened one time out of the entire. We're 40 games in. It's happened once. One.
Right. But anyway, with Weissert, it was obviously more consequential. His role was more consequential with Slayton out, and obviously Justin Slayton being back is great because it's going to put Weissert in slightly lesser leverage situations. And maybe they're going to put Samaniego in a little bit more high leverage situations. They put Weissert in today in a pretty low leverage situation. So maybe the they're changing his role anyway. But to me, if you're removing Weissert from that role, you're also upgrading somebody who either isn't experienced or also is not that trustworthy into the role. Like if you're upgrading Zach Kelly into that role, he hasn't been super trustworthy. Samaniego hasn't let in a run yet.
Samaniego, that's what I was just gonna say.
And it should be him, but he's pitched what, 10 games in the majors to this point?
It's different than talking about replacing Story at shortstop or something like that. These are relief arms, like one inning of the game. Like
it's
you
a
can
hot
give him
hand.
a shot. Yeah,
it's a hot hand.
Exactly. Yeah, I would try Sammy in that
11
role.
games.
Just give him a shot. Also, by the way, the role that Greg Weissert had in 2025 was perfect for him, and I thought he was very good at it. He pitched all the time, medium to low leverage. No, he wasn't perfect. Ideally, you don't even remember that he pitched in the game. But I think he did well in that role, and I think he's valuable in that role. So I want him to stay with the Red Sox. Hopefully Slayton stays healthy, same with Whitlock and Chapman, so he can have that role back. I don't think I'll ever feel good with Marinara Rivera in a high-leverage spot outside of the World Baseball Classic, of course.
I feel like we can't. Like the Marinara Rivera, like it makes me cringe now because it's just
we can't.
He's just that's just not him. Whatever we saw in the WBC, it's just not. That's like not a person.
What does he have to do to earn back the Marinara?
Got to give me at least 6 straight scoreless outings.
I think that's fair.
That might be setting the bar pretty low for a Rivera.
Make it 5. Make it 5. It's great.
I think I'm going to go very niche. I think I'm going to go 5 straight scoreless appearances, and one of which has to be like a bullpen spent day, and he picks up a save.
Or what about if he inherits a tough situation, maybe multiple guys on base and no outs, and he dances all the way out of it? Because that's his other thing. But his ERA is pretty bad. It's actually worse because he's letting in every inherited runner that he. Yeah,
inherits. He's fucking over his teammates.
Yeah, but it's the truth. He has. It's been bad, and
he's wearing it well though.
That's true. Yeah, I'm glad that he said he sucked to the media. I actually do appreciate when guys do that. But it was Bueller last year who played that card like a few too many times, and it was like, all right, like you get maybe 2 times in a year.
You know why? Like, because Sale played that card 1,000 times, but he was so good when he was healthy. Right. You're like, all right. Say Greg Weissert, like not so good when healthy, but we've seen him perform before. Like we've seen him be a capable relief pitcher in Major League Baseball. Great, he can use that. Walker Bueller was never good on the Red Sox. Not for one stretch, maybe a game here and there. I remember trying to cope and be like, hey, he's figuring it out last year. It never happened. He stunk. So Gordo's favorite player ever.
Oh, God. Don't get me started. Where are we? So the bullpen power rankings right now, you feel good with 3 guys. You got the Chapman, you got Whitlock, you got Slayton.
You feel good about Whitlock right now?
You're right. Whitlock hasn't pitched very well either.
You should feel good about 3 guys. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I still feel good about him, but
like by default, Whitlock also he gets a much longer leash till he gets into territory where we talk. He also pitched well in his last outing, so I know he allowed 2 runs in the game. They won 5-4 against the Tigers.
Yeah,
but then the Rays game,
10 pitches. Yeah, 10 pitch. He shut him down. That is true, Gordo. I kind of forgot about it. Was so fast. That's fair. Okay,
but he has
Mr.
been
Whitlock.
No, but it's fair, Sammy. Like he's obviously not been what he was last year, but you still feel good with him. Like he's maybe not automatic like he was last year, but you've got 3 guys that you feel really good with, and then
I would go Samaniego.
Probably, but that's not a great place to be.
And then Giovanni Moran.
Yeah.
They're not picking him like they think
and
that.
And then
though.
Zach. And then Greg.
I think where I'm at is I still have Weissert after Samaniego. And that's just the state of where this is at. I don't know why they don't want to. Maybe they don't like what they're seeing out of Tommy Kahnle, and that's why because like he couldn't get a look anywhere else. Like he had his upward mobility thing, and I guess had no takers because he's still in Worcester.
I mean, he wasn't very good in 2025. I doubt he's gonna get much better in his later years.
Then Ryan Watson. How did we forget Ryan Watson?
He's like he has a very, very specific role. Like
but also, he for 4 straight outings, he had a bad one this last one. I was ready to tweet I had it written out, a good Ryan Watson tweet. He threw the first scoreless inning, and I'd written it out, and I said to myself, he's definitely coming back in, so I can't send it now. But going into last outing, in his last 4 outings, he was 7 2/3, of 2-run ball with 8 strikeouts to, I believe, 1 walk, if I'm remembering correctly.
Nice.
And then he threw a scoreless inning and then was asked to go back out there again. I'm not saying you should be confident in Ryan Watson. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who are ready to fully pull the plug, and maybe it's unfair that he's in a role that he's probably not suited for with this mop-up thing, but it's like you have guys banging down the door in AAA.
And what's the point of pulling the plug? He only comes into the game when the game is already fried one way or the other, and his role is to eat innings. Like, why would you punt on the depth to get another guy to do the exact same thing in more meaningless games? I keep seeing people talk about Jack Anderson. I'm like, why? Why would you do that to Jack Anderson? Like, maybe he'll have a meaningful role. This role that Watson has it serves a purpose, but in a competitive sense, it's meaningless.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's the Chase Anderson role. Everyone complained about Chase Anderson. It's like maybe once or twice that year did he come into a game. It was like extra innings, like the second time around.
It's always like the extra
in,
inning games when the bullpen's kind of spent and they're just trying to get by, you know?
And if those guys come into leverage spots, Chase Anderson, Ryan Watson, if guys like that come into leverage spots, it means that something else has gone wrong. That's not what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, like if we're gonna try to nitpick the Red Sox bullpen, the bottleneck here has been the Weissert role. It was the Slayton injury. Greg Weissert, who was struggling, getting elevated into a role that he already, even before the struggles, was not suited for. And then those struggles just get elevated because he's blowing games in much bigger spots.
Agreed. So, yeah, I agree. Completely not suited for it. And certain people are not suited for certain things, like Instagram or social media, which brings us to our next topic. Go, Gordo.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna play the audio. Actually, no, I'll wait to play the audio because we got to set the scene here of what this is. So basically, Duran posted on his Instagram story a screenshot of Michael Hawley. I should have the screenshot up. Let me pull it up so I can read what the comment was. He put it on his story. It was Michael Hawley saying something about injuries, and he said, "They let people like this on NBC Sports." Clown emoji, laugh emoji. Michael S. Hawley is his @. I'm going to share my screen here. No, I'm not because I can't.
Just do the audio. It's fine.
There it is.
It's just a guy talking. A handsome guy. There we go.
Here's what Jarren Duran didn't like.
All teams lie. They lie about injuries. They just do. Tell me a forthcoming organization in the city when it comes to injuries. They just don't. So when the Red Sox did it, like, why are we doing this? Why are you playing games with us? This is an unnecessary lie. We know you're lying. Stop it. He's day-to-day. No, he's not. And then Chad Tracy doubling down. Oh, this is on the short. He's going to be on the IL on the short hair. No, he's not, Chad. No, he's not. He's not.
So that was the clip, which, I mean, we've talked about it a million times on this show, how the Red Sox say one thing with injuries and it doesn't come true. I think it's I saw a lot of people siding with Duran on this and saying that it's an unfair. I don't think it's an unfair take at all. But to me, the problem is that the screenshot, and I know this isn't how he intended it, but he says they let people like this on NBC Sports, and it's a screenshot of Michael Hawley, who's a black man, and it just comes off like that, even though I know that wasn't his intent. But sometimes for some people, intent doesn't matter. And he's since deleted his entire Instagram account. So clearly he's heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I really don't care about the take, which, by the way, was kind of a nothing burger. Who cares? Like, teams lie, or they don't want to release too much about injuries. Like, yeah, everyone knows this. It's clear. My thing is, what the fuck is the point? What is he thinking when he's posting the screenshot? And Gordo, yeah, I think if people thought that people's brains went to like, dude, what do you mean people like this? I think that's totally fair. That's a natural way to think. Don't know what Duran's intent was, but why post it at all? Like, what goes through this guy's head when he's doing things like this? When he gives the middle finger, when he hurls a slur at a fan, when he's like, what is going through this guy's head? It's so frustrating because he's a talented baseball player, struggles aside. I don't want to be talking about this every friggin' 3 weeks, but it's another Jarren Duran drama session. I'm so sick of it.
So what's wicked funny is I think this is him trying to... Oh, God. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. but I just think that's how Jaron operates. I think this is him, like, quote unquote, like stepping up for his guys who are injured, getting like called out basically for just saying like playing it down or saying, no IL and all this stuff. Like, I think this is Jaron's form of like quote unquote leadership, which is fucking insane because Jaron is a
I got your back, guys.
child. And like,
Yeah.
the other thing too is focus on your own shit. You're playing awful. He's playing bad. It's not like he's whoever. It's not like he's Ronald Acuna or he's Julio Rodriguez and it's the team's humming along and you know what? You're just kind of getting guys on the pass by like, no, like whatever. The team sucks. You're playing like shit. And you've already had, I think this is his second or third, like the third, just like what the fuck moment of the season. We're a month in.
Of the season. Say it again. Of this season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You,
Sammy,
you, know what?
you said every 3 weeks, and I thought to myself, it's more often than that right now.
Dude,
We're like 5
every
weeks
10
into
days.
this.
It's like every
time.
15 days.
you know what I think it is? Here's my best guess at what was going through Duran's head, which is like tough to guess. But what I think is, I don't think the Red Sox lie about injuries. Like, actually, like we joke on here, like, oh, they lie and everything. I think they just don't give you all the info. So when the info comes out, it seems like they lied, but they technically didn't really tell you anything. Or they told you what they're hopeful for, which isn't them saying what will happen. It's like, this is what we're hoping. This is what we think will happen. But if it's wrong, we never said it was going to happen. It's what we thought was going to happen. We can't predict these things. So for fans and podcasters, media, feels like lying. But internally, the guys in the clubhouse, no, it's technically not a lie. So my thinking was Duran got frustrated hearing his team get called liars over and over and over again. And he's immature. So he went on social media and he made this stupid post. That's what I think is what happened here.
Yeah. And like the other thing too is in terms of like how they relay this information about injuries to the media, in the moment, you don't know. Like, let's say like when Ranger pulled his hammy, if Chad Tracy came out and said, yeah, hamstring, he's not feeling too good. And they asked about IL and he was like, yeah, probably. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, no, it feels better the next morning. I should be okay in a couple of days. Like, I think they just give non-answers, and I think non-answers are misconstrued as like better timelines or not, are just straight up lying, which I don't think they do. I don't think they outright tell you. Like when Roman was hurt, they're like, we're going to see how he feels. He's going to go back to Boston, see a hand specialist. We're hoping he doesn't go on the IL. That was literally like, that was their answer. And he wound up on the IL. Like, their hopes were not met. Like, they didn't lie to you. They were saying, look, he's seeing a hand specialist. We're hoping he doesn't go to the IL, obviously. And he goes to the IL. Shit happens. They're not lying.
I think we're getting a little off of what the topic here should, because like, yeah, the Red Sox with injuries, we've talked about it a million times. What the focus here should be is that Jarren Duran is yet again, the third time this year doing something detrimental to himself, to the team, to the fan base, whatever, that isn't even his on the field performance, which, by the way, after today, 194 with a 577 OPS. That's where he's at. So if you're having your 2024 season and you have off the field issues, we see it all the time with athletes. They play great. They're headaches off the field. But when you have Randy Moss level production, you put up with it.
Your boy, Manny.
Yeah.
Ultimate
Manny
example.
Ramirez, great example. You put up with it for Manny. But for Jarren, if you're going to flip off the fan, which I haven't heard. I saw someone post a screenshot of a Twins article basically saying that the Twins haven't found anything with their investigation and like no one's even saying that they heard anything. I don't know. I don't want to speak on it, but that's just what I saw today. Flips off a fan, waves off the media like they're subhuman creatures. When they
forgot about that one.
When they wanted to talk to him about Alex Cora getting fired. Alex Cora, the guy who's gone to bat for Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran, one of the veterans of the team, who should be speaking in those moments, waves them off and pushes them onto 21-year-old Roman Anthony to speak, to which Roman answered one of the questions. I would feel more comfortable if a vet answered that portion of it, but the vet said no. He waved the media off like they're nothing. And now he's posting this on his Instagram and deleting his Instagram and it's a whole nother thing. It's May 10th as we're recording this. At some point, and I understand, Jarren Duran, we saw the Netflix special. We understand a lot goes through this guy's head, and a lot of it isn't good. And he obviously, hopefully, is getting the help that he needs. But at a certain point, enough is enough. It's childish. It's enough, and it has nothing to do with the play on the field. Like he would have a longer leash if he were playing better. But even if he were playing well, this is unacceptable for a guy who's supposed to be a veteran on this team. And it's not just this incident. If this were the only isolated incident, it is what it is. But it's that coupled with everything. The waving of the media off really is the one that got me the most. It's just all the all-encompassing combination of everything is unacceptable for a guy who has been in the league as long as he has and is supposed to be one of the more important players on this team. Enough is enough.
And one thing that I think encapsulates it really well is you have all the fan stuff and the extracurriculars, and the difference with that stuff is obviously we know the history with Jarren and all that he advocates for and all that stuff. So when stuff like that happens, yes, it's frustrating, but it's also you can see in a way sometimes where he's coming from. There is a way to understand his actions sometimes. This is not that. Neither is the turning away reporters. This is just him. The reporter thing is just flat out selfish. That is just unbelievable that the longest tenured position player on the team can't answer a question about his manager who went to bat for him 100 times. And then today, it's just, he literally had to go out of his way to do that. And it was a nothing burger. It had nothing to do with Jarren. It wasn't that's what I'm so confused about. It's not like this team is believing in Jarren Duran. They missed the boat on trading and blah, 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 blah. If it were that and he did this, it's still a stupid thing to do, but you're okay, it applies to him. He's not hurt. This has nothing to do with him.
I think a lot of people, we're going pretty in on him here, and a lot of people will probably listen to this, and maybe they haven't listened to the show for a long time and don't, because we've been doing this show. This is our third year on the show. We've talked a lot about Jarren Duran. We did this show through Jarren's best year, and we've done this show now in his worst stretch as a member of the Red Sox. We've been through it all with this guy. This is not some example of we've just all been anti-Duran guys just waiting to go in on this guy, and now he's struggling and he's doing stupid shit, and now it's time to go in on him. We have praised this guy tons throughout our time doing this show. We've talked about whether we should trade him, whether we shouldn't trade him. That's a conversation that all Red Sox fans have, and who Jarren Duran is as a person has rarely been a part of those conversations. It's always been about the type of player he is, the style of play, the time on the deal of the other guys in the outfield. We've been Jarren Duran guys. We've been anti-Jarren Duran. We've gone back and forth on this just because, sometimes he's playing great. Sometimes he's playing bad. Sometimes he's not doing stupid shit off the field. Sometimes he is doing stupid shit off the field. And the opinions change. This is not just some podcast of three dudes who hate Jarren Duran and have been waiting to go in on him. We've gone in on him a lot this year because he's done a lot of stupid shit that deserves it. And the play doesn't help. So that's where I'm at, I think. Yeah. Enough said before we get out of here. Sammy, you got anything for us?
Oh boy, do I. It's for Pat Brown.
Ooh.
Pat. Got a bone to pick with Pat. So, April 22nd, we interviewed UFC champ Henry Cejudo at Fenway Park. Pat reposted the video, of course. Pat said something about Henry Cejudo making me look tall, insinuating that I am short. Nobody really laughed. I think he got one comment. I think it was from me. The joke kind of fell flat. Then 2 days ago, Daily Mail, a tabloid from the UK, posted that the FBI is revealing there are 4-foot-tall aliens coming to Earth or something like that. And Pat quote tweeted it, tagging both Gordo and I, saying, imagine a world full of Gordo and Sammy, which doesn't really make sense since Gordo and I are both
Wait, when was this?
This was
I
2
didn't
days
see
ago.
that one.
It doesn't really make sense because we're both 5'9", 5'10" on a good day.
You called me short? You
pretty,
called me short?
Pretty average height. My question is, Pat, you've made this joke too. By the way, this one got one like from me, one comment also from me. So good job. My question, Pat, you've made this joke 2 times. Are you going to make it a third time? And if you do make it a third time, do you think anybody will laugh at it? And you're muted too.
Now he's
on
muted.
top of it. This
Oh
guy's
my God.
So
Oh,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to quote tweet one of those tweets tomorrow of us interviewing players just to show off you two pipsqueaks. That's what I'm going to do.
So, but that's not the same joke. You just want to show Gordo and Sammy are not as tall as a major league player. I am slightly shorter. Pat Brown, also not as tall as most of these guys. Like what? The joke never made sense. The fact that you doubled down on it, I kind of felt bad. I was like, man, he's really, he's not. I'm gonna give him a like because I feel bad. But holy shit, Pat, clean it up, Gordo.
Pat, if you wanna make me feel short, go scroll back to the 2024 season and find the video of me standing up interviewing Lucas Giolito. There's never been a camera shot that makes me look like more of a 4'10" alien.
And then, of course, when I got to do the Ken Rosenthal interview, the one time we completely lost the audio, I looked like a giant next to Ken Rosenthal, and then gone. No audio.
Second time we completely lost the audio. Remember when I went to the winter meetings at the very beginning of Play Tessie and I lost the Craig Breslow audio.
That's right. We almost lost Richard Fitz, but Joe saved the day on that one.
Joe did save the day on Richard Fitz.
But yeah, Pat, are you gonna go to the well for a third time? Third time's the charm. Maybe we'll get
I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop going to the well.
Sammy, you're motivating the guy. Do you understand what you're doing?
Keep going. It makes no sense. Like, we're not short enough. Like, we're not. I don't think either of us are short. We're just like normal height. If I were like 5'4", I'd be okay.
Oh,
Pat,
yes.
if you're gonna go that route, might I remind you? What are you? 26 right now?
Yeah. Look, I mean, honestly, there's another angle that looks even worse than that.
Gordo next to Giolito.
Pat's just hiding. Pat's hiding in his phone right now. He's afraid to face the music.
No,
Pat, if you're gonna go down this route, might I remind you, an Irish American man, you're nearing your 30s. If you have a semblance of a bald spot, I'm gonna be like the fucking Grim Reaper. Because I'll tell you who will not have a bald spot, me. But if you do.
That's the thing. Is Sammy's already in his 60s and he doesn't have. Yeah, so
I look fucking fantastic, Pat. Yeah. Careful.
I'm not going bald.
Oh, you didn't sound too confident.
You do wear a lot of hats, though, Pat. You got to better be careful.
But
no, you're what? You're 26 years old.
Put my head down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't know, Sammy. I think he might keep it.
We'll check back when Pat hits the big 3-0.
Well, it goes off your mom's dad.
That doesn't.
I would tell myself that too if I were coping. But
we'll
see. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say both grandparents, but my other grandfather's dead. But he died with hair, so we're good.
He died fucking covered in hair. Let me tell you.
He died, and he actually suffocated on. I'm kidding.
Does Dad Brown have hair? Dad Brown?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we'll be all right. All
right, Pat. Just saying. We're doing short jokes. 5'9", 5'10". Gordo, have you ever been called short? I don't think I've ever been called short prior to Pat Brown.
Yeah, but not. I don't know. It's more like it's not like a hey boy like that type thing. Like no.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever been called. I'm trying to think like.
It's like
maybe playing basketball. Maybe
it's like bench warmers.
But anyway, all right. Yeah, I just had to call Pat out for his two. What do you call it? His two bombings. He bombed 2 times. 2 times on stage. On the stage of
Pat,
social media.
Do you have enough said for us?
I do. So tonight, as we record, Sunday night is the roast of Kevin Hart. I saw Shane Gillis on Friday night.
You're not performing.
Yeah, I saw Shane Gillis on Friday night, and it was really cool because at the end of the show, he was like, "I would appreciate if no one recorded this. This is helping me prep for the roast of Kevin Hart on Sunday." He was like, "Can I run some jokes by you guys?" And in the moment, I was like, "Oh, this would be kind of cool." He went into his back pocket and pulled out a 4-page packet. He must have read off like 40 Kevin Hart jokes, and all he did was have a Bud Light in his hand and a pen in the other. listen to the audience, go, yeah, that fucking crushed, and he would just check it off or cross it off. So I'm sure I'll see videos or whatever, but I am curious to see which ones he said. Also, Tom Brady went for the jugular on Kevin Hart tonight. Because at the roast of Tom Brady, Kevin Hart made a joke about Giselle, I believe. And then Tom made... So for those who don't know, Kevin Hart had an affair a couple years ago, and that was like a really big deal. So Tom Brady was basically like, I'll be really quick. I'm a busy guy. I'll get back to my affairs in Las Vegas. Oh, sorry. Was not supposed to bring up affairs in Las Vegas? Fuck it. I talk about it. And then basically just called out Kevin Hart for having an affair in Las Vegas. So...
Yeah, take notes, Pat.
Yeah.
Pat, you got to keep track, though. Tell us how many of those he reuses.
Oh, well.
My enough said. So the NBA draft lottery happened tonight as we're recording, and basically what happened at the trade deadline is the Pacers traded for Ivica Zubac from the Clippers, and they traded their first-round pick, but it was top 4 protected. Basically, if the pick falls in the top 4 for the Pacers, they get to keep it and give a future pick. And if the pick is anywhere outside the top 4, they have to give it to the Clippers. They got the worst case scenario today, and it fell at number 5. So they had to give that pick to the Clippers. My enough said here, though, is what the Pacers GM, I believe he's the president of basketball operations, at Pacers Kev on Twitter. He tweeted this. He said,
Pacers Kev.
Yeah, at Pacers Kev. Kevin Pritchard of the Pacers tweeted this. I'm really sorry to all our fans. I own taking this risk. Surprised it came up 5th after this year. I thought we were due some luck, but please remember this team deserves a starting center to compete with the best teams next year. We have always been resilient. And listen, yeah, they got screwed, and it was probably a dumb trade from the jump. I thought it was an overpay at the time, whatever. But what I love is that the guy took accountability with the fan base. When something went wrong, they didn't just keep trying to justify it as if they were right the whole time. He owned his mistake. He said, I'm sorry. Like, to me, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have helped. But, like, when Alex Bregman goes to the Cubs, if we could have just gotten a tweet from Brez, it sounds stupid to say, but if we'd gotten a tweet from Brez or Kennedy saying, like, listen, we thought we knew where this was going, and we got it wrong, and for that we're sorry, and we're going to do everything we can to make it right. With that, I feel like that would have gone over well with the fan base.
I would have respected it.
Rather than what we got, which was if Alex Bregman wanted to be here, he would be here.
Gordo, what were the protections on that pick?
It was top 4, so that was literally the worst case scenario.
So what's crazy is that he just basically, as the man running the team, acknowledged and tried to tank.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Which is insane because the league is actively trying to crack down on, like, outwardly tanking.
Well, it just shows it works. It shows that their method works. That this will discourage people from ever tanking. I mean, like, it's catastrophic.
They're changing the rule anyway, right? They're
looking into rule changes. Yeah,
have they announced something? Do we know?
Not yet. I don't think so.
The people of Pawnee deserve a good center.
Sure do. Joe says he's got enough said. Joe, you want to get in here and deliver the enough said before we get out of here?
Deliver it to us.
Out on the field in living colors, Williard drives one high and deep into right center field. It is back.
It is gone. Ding Dong Johnson. That's what you call Ding Dong Johnson right there.
That was Pedro. If you, I can't believe he said that. That's Ding Dong Johnson.
Ding Dong Johnson is officially entering my vocabulary, and I expect the same out of you three. Because that was the most positive moment of this series.
Ding Dong Johnson sounds like a first baseman for the 30s Athletics.
God, my mind is in the gutter because I heard Dong and Johnson back to back, and I was like, "Well,
of course, that's where your mind went."
Maybe. I mean, come on, how could you not? Gordo's agreeing. He's like, I was thinking the same thing. You said the same word back to back, Joe, but with Pedro with. It wasn't
the first thing that came to my mind, but it's not crazy that it's the first thing that went to yours. I don't think it's that crazy. Yeah.
Ding Dong Johnson.
So just let that be a rule. Next time you guys talk about home runs, you don't call them home runs anymore.
Ding Dong Johnson.
Dong Johnsons.
Caleb Durbin with a Ding Dong Johnson off of a Little League pitcher.
I fear we may not have too many more Ding Dong Johnsons this year, fellas.
Yeah.
Well, they're leading the league in least home runs. So
are they 30th? No, it's at home. I think it's least at home.
I think they're 28th total. Least at home, 28th total. The Giants and I can't remember the other team. Giants and someone else. Gordo's going to the booth to figure it out.
No. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I don't need it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anyway. Google it yourself and tweet at us. Or tweet it.
They don't hit home runs. They should get Yordan Alvarez, and he can do that for them.
Yeah, if you know who the second least home runs is, then tweet at Pat. He needs the likes on his jokes. So,
This is an attack.
hey, I've been quiet. I've been like, let Pat do his thing. And then he did a second time. I'm like, all right, that's it.
Calling in the big guns.
I'm good at roasting. I'll hold it back though. Good. All right, let's go. I'm done.
Just
Pat,
wrap it.
No last words from you, Pat. You're just gonna let him.
Nope.
Pat's got to make me think he's plotting something, but I have no fear.
I'm not plotting anything. Just wrap.
No.
Was I too mean? Sorry, Pat. I don't mean to be mean.
No, you weren't mean at all.
All right.
Wrap.
You guys want me to wrap?
You should
All
wrap
right,
up.
that's going to do it for episode 351 of Play Tessie for this very not that good Red Sox team. It's the official.
Can you
Red
rap,
Sox.
dude? Just wrap it already.
Get your merch, bbisn'tboring.com. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts at Play Tessie on all of the socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Find us on YouTube. Play Tessie there. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. We'll be back soon. Believe on Thursday we'll be back. For Sammy, for Pat, for Joe producing. It is Gordo here for this edition of Play Tessie. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.